No shadow on the ground. You chose this hour so no one else is around. Carrying the weight of everything you swallowed whole. Every empty vessel that has hollowed out your soul. But there's a man already at the well. Tired from the road, he crossed the lines no one would tell. He asked you for a drink, the ordinary kind, while the water he was carrying would blow apart your mind. You tried to change the subject, throw theology at his face, but he already knew your name before you came to this place. He said, I know everything you are, and still I'm here, still I'm here, still I'm here. Set down your door, stop hiding in the heat of what you've done. He crossed the border, broke the wall, and he already won. Set down your door, the living water rises, no one draws it up. You don't need to be clean to drink, just let go of the cup. He sees the full account and still he cares. Set down your door and run, go tell his name. Miles away, father's walking roads. His son is burning up beneath the fever's hold. He found the one the rumors couldn't quite contain, and Jesus spoke a word before the proof could be explained. The fever broke, the child breathed deep in sleep. The sign was never meant to be the thing you keep. It points beyond itself to who is standing here, the one who doesn't wait for you to have it figured clear. Set down your jar, stop hiding in the heat of what you've done. He crossed the border, broke the wall, and he already won. Set down your jar, the living water rises, no one draws it up. You don't need to be clean to drink, just let go of the cup. He sees the full account and still he cares. Set down your jar and run, go tell his name. She didn't walk back with a polished testimony. She ran back breathless, asking a question. Can this be the Christ? Not a sermon, not a creed, a crack in the wall, and the whole city came out. Your broken witness is enough. Your unfinished story is the door. He was never waiting for you to get clean before he spoke. He was already at the well. He is already at yours. He knows, and still he stays. He knows, and still he came. He knows, and still he calls your face, every line. You warm yourself at the lamp, but you walk away blind. The scrolls point like arrows to a door you won't cross. Moses himself wrote the name that you toss. John the Baptist burned bright and you cheered for a while, but fire without surrender is just smoke on a pile. The evidence is stacking, the witnesses stand, yet you search the testimony and refuse his hand. The bull is not your savior, the system is a lie. He speaks and the dead rise, he commands and stones cry. Rise up, take your mat, the grave has no say. The voice of the sun is breaking through today. He holds the resurrection, he carries the keys. King over judgment, Lord over disease. The bull is not your savior, stop waiting for the wave. The one who owns the morning just called you by name. This is not a story about a man getting well. This is the son of the father tearing open what fell. The tombs crack at the sound of a single command. The dead hear his voice and they rise where they stand. Do not flatten this down to a lesson on faith. He did not wait to be asked, he walked into that place. He finds you in the temple after healing you whole, and the word that he speaks is a summons to your soul. Say no more, do not drift back to the chains. The miracle given demands something remains. So here is the question that cuts to the bone. Will you come to him for life or keep reading the load? The bull is not your savior, the system is a lie. He speaks and the dead rise, he commands and stones cry. Rise up, take your mat, the grave has no say. The voice of the sun is breaking through today. He holds the resurrection, he carries the keys. King over judgment, Lord over disease. The bull is not your savior, stop waiting for the wave. The one who owns the morning just called you by name. He is the resurrection, he is the judge of the dead. Every name will confess it, every grave will be raised. Stop organizing your sickness, stop waiting for the stir. Oh, the voice has already spoken, the healing is his word. We came with our hunger and our hands held out. We chased every sign, but we still had doubt. 5 loaves and 2 fish, and a hillside crowd. We wanted a king, so we shouted loud. But he slipped through the noise to the mountain alone. He would not be crowned for the bread we had known. Every idol we built from the gifts that he gave, every system we trusted to keep us from the grave. The crowd is thinning out, one by one they leave. Every empty promise exposed for what it is. We are standing at the edge, we have nowhere left to flee. Breath that breaks the idol. empty yours, but we cannot outrun it. He was not called by our straining or our fear. He walked on the waves and he simply drew near. And the manna they gathered at dawn in the waste was a shadow of something they never could taste. Moses gave bread, but it could not hold back the grave. Only one came from heaven with the power to save. The crowd is thinning out, one by one they leave. Every empty promise exposed for what it is. We are standing at the edge, we have nowhere left to flee. Bread that breaks the idol down. He is the life the world cannot crown. Not the sign, not the feeling, not the full stomach now. He came down from heaven and he will not bow. Eat his flesh, drink his blood, let the hard work stand. Death could not contain the bread in his hands. Bread that breaks the idol down. The synagogue is emptying. You can hear their sandals on the stone. One by one they walked out because the teaching was too hard. The cost was too real. And he turned to the 12 and he asked, "Will you go too?" And Peter, with nowhere left standing, said, "Lord, to whom would we go? You have the words of eternal life." That is not a victory speech. That is a man with nothing left but the truth. And the truth is this: He is the bread that came down from heaven. Not a symbol, not a metaphor, not a comfort. The only food that kills death. Idols fall, systems fail. Every full stomach empties again. But he stands, the Son of the living God remains. Bread that breaks the idol down. He is the life the world cannot crown. Not the sign, not the feeling, not the full stomach now. He came down from heaven and he will not bow. Eat his flesh, drink his blood, let the hard work stand. Death could not contain the bread in his hands. Bread that breaks the idol down. We will not walk away with the crowd. We will not trade the hard word for the easy sound. Break us open like the loaf in the lamplight. You are the only bread worth our lives. You slipped through every net they laid, arrived when no one saw you coming, moving like a blade. They sent their officers to drag you to the floor. They came back empty, shaking, never said a word before. The clocks they built had no hands left to turn. They thought they owned the timing, but you let their timelines burn. Not hiding, not afraid, not running for the gate. You walked into the temple courts because your hour could not be set by hate. The crowd was splitting down the seam, whispering your name like it was something to be ashamed of. But you opened up your mouth and made the silence play. On the last great day, you stood and cried aloud. Not a whisper in the dark, but a voice above the crowd. If you thirst, then before the throw. You knelt down and rode into the ground. Not confusion, not a riddle, but a reckoning they know. She was standing in the open crowd, dissolving into shame, and the only one who could have crushed her spoke the mercy no religion dares to claim. I do not condemn you, now get up and go, but do not dress the scar and call the wound a trophy. Sin no more, because the truth that sets you free is not a feeling, it is a person, it is holy. Every accuser gone, every stone left cold on the ground, and the light of the world stood burning in a darkness that could not put him down. Before Abraham fell, we were known. I am the eternal, I am the throne. No chain forged in darkness survives this name. The sun sets you free and you will never be the same. Drop the weight, the verdict has been overturned. He did not come to bury you, he came to break what you have earned. Before Abraham fell, he is. They came with their logic and their lineage and their law, called themselves the sons of God, while building walls of straw. You said the truth will make you free, but freedom cost the lion. Every eye was standing tall, must answer or must die. Abide in the word and watch the prison crack, not by force of will or fire, but by what no grave holds back. He walked through the crowd that came to take him, passed through like light through glass, untouched, unbroken. And the name he spoke in that stone courtyard this is your righteousness. You think because you studied you can see, but the man outside the synagogue gate, he knows more than your theology. I am that man, I am standing at the wall. Doors are locked, my name is struck, I will not fall. He found me when they cast me out, and I fell at his feet without a doubt. This is the victory, not a crown, not a throne, just the light of the world and a man on his own saying I was blind. He opened my sight, not a feeling, not a fable, it was him, it was love. I was blind, and I will not walk that back. You can shut the doors behind me, but you cannot shut the facts. I was blind, now I see, this is not a metaphor. The God who made the clay and light is the God we're dying for. I was blind, come and try to take this down. Throw me out of every room you have, I will say it on the ground. Come and question it, come and test it. Bring your systems and your learning, man. I was in the dark before he found me, and I will not go back again. I was blind, and now I see. I have heard the voices shouting from the marketplace. Every thief who ever climbed the wall to take my place. They were never sent for me, they came to strip the bone, smiling while they scattered every sheep that they had known. I have walked the corridors of stone in winter cold, watched the hired hand abandon everything he sold. But I heard a voice cut through the noise and call my name, and my head came up before the others did the same. You are not like them, you bled before you let me go. You laid it down and picked it back, I need the whole world to know. Was sure it had the final mark. They sealed the cave and called it finished. Every prayer you prayed looked cold and diminished. But the delay was not a distance. Every hour was built on God's own insistence. He let the stones sit heavy, let the morning rise. So when the name rang out, nothing could survive. Moth around the road with fire in her chest. She threw a grief like iron at his breast. She said, if you had been here, this would not have been. And he did not correct the ache within her scream. Then he stood and looked her in the eye. No apology, no alibi. He said, I am the resurrection, I am the life. Not a promise, not a maybe. Caught it like a knife. Stone cannot hold the name. Death cannot cage the one who made the grave. The tomb cracks open, the linen falls away. He is the resurrection, he is the life today. Stone cannot hold the name. Every idol built on darkness burns away. We are not afraid, we are not ashamed. Stone cannot hold the name. He wept at the tomb, do not reduce that. He groaned in the spirit at the violence of the fact. Death was never what creation was designed for. Even God who holds the ending hates what death is hired for. Caiaphas stood in torchlight thinking he was wise. Spoke a prophecy he could not recognize. One man dies for all the scattered children of the earth. Heaven wrote it down and called it infinite worth. The crowd stood frozen, stunned and silent in the field. A man walked out of shadow with his burial unrepealed. Hands still bound and reaching toward the voices calling free. This is what the Son of God came here to be. He is not slow, he is not blind. Every moment was already signed. He is the resurrection, he is the life. The stone was just the curtain before the light. Stone cannot hold the name. Death cannot cage the one who made the grave. The tomb cracks open, the linen falls away. He is the resurrection, he is the life today. Stone cannot hold the name. Every idol built on darkness burns away. We are not afraid, we are not ashamed. Stone cannot hold the name. You have buried things you prayed would live. You have stood outside the cave with nothing left to give. You have said the words that Martha said with dust upon your face. He is not rebuking you, he meets you in that place. But hear the declaration ringing through the stone. Every power, every darkness, every throne. He is not just the one who raises, he is resurrection whole. He carries death inside his hands and walks into its tomb. So roll the stone away, roll the stone away. The grave was never strong. back was the greatest shame. They counted coins and called it a waste, but she was counting down the days. The room filled, the fragrance filled the air. Nobody moved, nobody prayed. Now the Greeks are at the gate, saying, show us who you are. And the answer comes back harder than they knew, like a grain dropped in the dark. You cannot harvest what you will not bury. You cannot stand unless you fall. The throne was always on the other side of dying. The kingdom does not come for free at all. Die before you bloom, fall before you rise. Though it goes into darkness, then it tears the sky. We will not hold our lives above the call. Let the idols burn, let the system fall. Die before you bloom. This is how it goes. Die before you bloom. Now the whole world knows. A thunderclap with no storm in sight. The Father spoke and split the air in two. Not for him, he said before the crowd, so the trembling ones could push on through. And the secret ones would stay behind in the rooms where names could cost them everything. They heard the voice and could not stay the same. You cannot serve two kings. Torchlight in a narrow road. Walk while the light is still your road. The dark is closing, you can feel it coming, but you are not walking home alone. You cannot harvest what you will not bury. You cannot stand unless you fall. The throne was always on the other side of dying. The kingdom does not come for free at all. Die before you bloom, fall before you rise. Though it goes into darkness, then it tears the sky. We will not hold our lives above the call. Let the idols burn, let the system fall. Die before you bloom. This is how it grows. Die before you bloom. Now the whole world knows. He did not come to judge the world, he came to save it. But saving costs something. It cost him everything. And he is asking if you will let it cost you something too. The approval you have been protecting, the reputation you have been building, the name you are afraid to lose. Put it in the ground, because what you bury in him does not stay buried. We lay it down. We lay it down. We are not alone. We are not alone. The grain goes in the and kneels on a stone-cold floor. No crown, no throne, just a basin and a servant's pour. He wraps his hands around the heel of the man who will sell his name. He washes feet that will walk away, and he washes them just the same. The candles burn low on faces, turning sideways in the room. Every man at that table asking if the hand that breaks the bread is mine. The bread gets dipped and held across the dark. A door swings wide to the night street. A figure walks and never turns around, and the world does not know what it means. This is not a throne room you were built to understand. This is sovereign love with water dripping from his hands. He already saw your failure, written and clear before you fell. And he knelt down anyway. He knelt down anyway. The towel is the throne, the basin is the crown. The king of all creation set his glory down. Not for clean hands, not for the loyal, not for the ones who stand tall. He moved toward the broken with a towel. Watch them all. This is the love that shatters every idol, breaks every chain we forge. Surrender to the one who knelt before you. Bow to the servant Lord. Peter beats his chest and says he'll die before he bends. Jesus looks him in the eye and says the rooster crows before dawn ends. 3 times before the gray light breaks, you will not know my name. Not a threat, just the truth from the one who loved him all the same. So do not stand on your own strength like the rock you think you are. Every boast you built your life on is a crumbling prison bar. He sees the full weight of what you are, the cracking and the fall. And this is the command he leaves behind: love them like I loved you all. The towel is the throne, the basin is the crown. The king of all creation set his glory down. Not for clean hands, not for the loyal, not for the ones who stand tall. He moved toward the broken with a towel and washed them all. This is the love that shatters every idol, breaks every chain we forge. Surrender to the one who knelt before you. Bow to the servant Lord. This is not a call to be warm. This is a call to go low, to kneel in the dirt where the cost is real, and let the watching world know. Not because they earned it, not because the debt is paid, because the King of Heaven knelt for you before the price was laid. Satan moved through the dark that night. The bread was held out and taken, and Jesus said, "Go quickly now." And the chosen road was not forsaken. The weight of that table does not lift. The grief does not go quiet. But love is not a feeling here. It is a towel compromise. The towel is the throne. Crown the king. We built our towers out of borrowed time, stacked our certainties up to the sky. Every promise that the world could give crumbled down before our eyes. We chased the shadows of 1,000 roads, every one of them a lie. But there is one who walked ahead of us, who split the darkness open wide. He said, "I'm gonna make a place for you, not a palace, not a throne of gold, but a home where you will never be left outside or left alone." Every idol falling, every false road burning down. He is not a theory, not a distant sound. He is crowned. He is the way when the night swallows the path. He is the truth when the world comes apart. He is the life when the grave tries to take the last word. Collapse the idols, crown the king. Collapse the idols, crown the king. We do not walk this road without a name to hold. He went before us, he prepared the ground. Collapse the idols, crown the king. They said, "Show us the Father and we will believe." Philip standing in the dark, but the answer was already standing there in the wounds inside his heart. If you have seen me, you have seen the source. Two flames fed by the same fire. Not a riddle and not a distant God, but a Father who came closer, came lower, came higher. And he left us not as orphans in the wreck, sent the counselor to remind. Every word he spoke is still alive, being written in the mind. Every idol falling, every false road burning down. He is not a theory, not a distant sound. He is crowned. He is the way when the night swallows the path. He is the truth when the world comes apart. He is the life when the grave tries to take the last word. Collapse the idols, crown the king. Collapse the idols, crown the king. We do not walk this road without a name to hold. He went before us, he prepared the ground. Collapse the idols, crown the king. Listen, he said, "Do not let your heart be troubled." Not because the trouble is not real, not because the ground is not shaking, but because he already walked into the dark ahead of you, and he came back. The world offers pace like a drug, like a deal, like a lie. He offers space like a scar, like a resurrection, like a name spoken over you. When you forgot you had one, you were not abandoned, you were not an orphan. The Spirit is here, he is teaching, he is reminding. And the way forward is not a map. The way forward is a person. So we stand Searching for something that was already mine, pouring out on dry ground, trying to force the vine. Thought the silence meant failure, thought the pain meant I fell, but the gardener was working what I could not yet tell. He put the blade to the branch that was draining me dry. Not the hand of a judge, it was craft, not a cry. Every cut was a promise, every wound was a door. He's serious about the harvest, serious about more. I am not the root, I never held myself here. The vine holds the branches, the vine holds the year. I stopped grinding against it, I stopped trying to grow alone. The fruit is not my labor, it comes from being known. Cut back to bare, cut back to life. The Father's hands are steady on the knife. I will not run from the blade, I will not call it loss. I am held in the vine, I am shaped by the cost. Cut back to bare, rooted in the true. Every scar on this one is a mark of what he knew. I belong to the branches he refuses to let go. Cut back to bare, and I am made to overflow. No more serving, just guessing at the will of the King. He called me into friendship, he told me everything. I did not choose this table, he set my place in love, and he sent me into darkness, carrying light from above. The world will bear its faith, because it hated him first. I do not owe it applause, I do not answer its thirst. I was chosen to go out to carry fruit that stays, not my striving that builds it, it is grace on grace. Cut back to bare, cut back to life. The Father's hands are steady on the knife. I will not run from the blade, I will not call it loss. I am held in the vine, I am shaped by the cost. Cut back to bare, rooted in the true. Every scar on this one is a mark of what he knew. I belong to the branches he refuses to let go. Cut back to bare, and I am made to overflow. Every empty system falls, every hollow promise breaks. The lie that says you must do more is swallowed by the grave. He is the true vine. We are not the root, we are not the source, we are not the fruit. We are just the branch that stays, we just remain us like grain across the threshing floor, pulled us from the places we had called our own before. The lamps burned low, the room went cold, the boat slipped out to sea, and all we had was questions none of us could speak. But even in that silence, something older moved. The courtroom doors were already sealed, the gavel had come down. Every system built to bury us, every throne that crowned itself in smoke had already lost before it swung the first blow. He said the grief would come like labor, not like death. He said the pain was not the ending, only birth within the wreck. So we do not run, we do not break, we stand and hold the line. The Spirit came to tear the darkness open, not to make us feel fine. The verdict was already written before the world could make its case. We are not abandoned, we are rising into a truth no chain could ever break. He overcame, so we stand on ground that will not shake. The verdict was already written, and the enemy was too late. The ministry collapsed, the pastor's chair stood empty in the hall, and everybody said the work of God had gone with those who left it all. But idols fall and scaffolding comes down, and fire clears the field. The Spirit did not leave with them, He was never theirs to yield. He came to expose what comfort tried to cover over clean, to guide us into a way we were not ready yet to see. So the seedling breaks through cracked and frozen clay, not because the winter showed us mercy, but because the root would not stay buried in the grave. The verdict was already written before the world could make its case. We are not abandoned, we are rising into a truth no chain could ever break. He overcame, so we stand on ground that will not shake. The verdict was already written, and the enemy was too late. Hear this, He did not leave you orphaned, He left you armed. The counselor was not sent to hold your hand through easy days. He came to convict a world that thought it won. He came to glorify the one they buried. Your sorrow is not a sign that something broke. It is the sound the door makes when it opens. We are not what they tried to bury. We are not the creek that filled the road. We call the Spirit out of heaven, so we could bear what's coming through. The verdict was already written before the world could make its case. We are not abandoned, we are rising into a truth no chain could ever break. He overcame, so we stand on ground that will not shake. The verdict was already written, and the enemy was too late. The fog will lift, the dawn will split the dark in two, and every hollow promise built on sand will crumbling to ash in the light of this name. We were handed to the sun before the stars had a frame. Spoken into the prayer, he prayed the night before the flame. You thought you were forgotten, thought you had no claim, but the high priest walked behind the curtain and he said your name. Not a number, not a footnote, not a pawn in some game. You were the content of his cry, you were already claimed. So stand up now and open your eyes. The roots go down to bedrock, they do not compromise. He has finished what he started. Hear the certainty rise. Named before the world was nailed, before the darkness fell, held inside the sun's own prayer. We are known and we are held. This is not a hope we beg for, this is ground we already stand. Two hands locked so tight together, nothing breaks this hold. Nothing breaks this hand. Named before the world was nailed. Eternal life is not a door you walk through when you die. It is knowing God the Father with the Son beside. We are already inside it, already alive. Not shaped by discipline alone, but immersed in truth like a tide. The world outside the gate is loud and swinging its fist, but we were sent into it carrying what cannot be missed. Unity not built by men, but woven in the blood. Triune love made visible through every one of us. So stand up now and open your eyes. The roots go down to bedrock, they do not compromise. He has finished what he started. Hear the certainty rise. Named before the world was nailed, before the darkness fell, held inside the sun's own prayer. We are known and we are held. This is not a hope we beg for, this is ground we already stand. Two hands locked so tight together, nothing breaks this hold. Nothing breaks this hand. Named before the world was nailed. He did not pray in fear, he prayed in settled authority. He said, I have completed it, the work the Father gave to me. So every hollow system, every lie that says you are not enough, every voice that says the silence means that God has given up, let it collapse, let it fall. He already spoke your name inside the prayer that covered all. And the morning comes like dew across a field that held through frost. Still standing, nothing that was his is lost. He said, I care. out to find them. He already knew the hour. He said, "Who are you looking for?" And the ground refused to hold them. They stumbled back like dead men, flat before a single chain was lifted. Not a blade drawn, not a battle cry, just a name that split the darkness wide. This was not the world taking him. He was never anyone's prisoner. He stood and said, "Take me and let them go," because not one could be lost. Not one. He walked out to meet them. No army, no retreat. Sovereignty dressed in suffering. He chose the cup. He chose the cup. The soldiers fell before his feet, and still he let them bind his hands. This is the king who cannot be taken, only given, only given. A sword swings through the courtyard air, blood and heat, and someone's ear is bleeding. But the king says, "Put it away." Violence was never written in this story. Then across the city at a fire, a man warms his hands beside the embers. 3 times a question, 3 times a silence, and then the rooster splits the gray before the dawn. How human frailty bends and falls, while the bound one stands before the powerful. He does not break beneath the questioning. His kingdom roots in truth, not Roman iron. He walked out to meet them. No army, no retreat. Sovereignty dressed in suffering. He chose the cup. He chose the cup. The soldiers fell before his feet, and still he let them bind his hands. This is the king who cannot be taken, only given, only given. The Passover lamb was in the city, and its keeper stood outside a gentle gate to clean his step across that threshold, while they handed over the only innocent man. This is the weight of what was happening. Every torch and chain and corridor of stone was not closing in on someone helpless. It was opening the door that he had planned. So when you sit alone at 2 a.m., replaying how the knife went in so clean, know that the one who was literally bound had already drunk that cup before they came. Surrender and sovereignty are not opposites. His hands were open long before they tied them. skin, a crown of thorns hammered down by grinning men. They think they hold the verdict in their hands, but every nail was drawn inside a plan. Pilate asked you where you came from, backed away. He knew the truth and sold it anyway. No throne of man can hold a borrowed power. You told him that before his darkest hour. The dice hit stone beneath the cross. They played their game and never counted the cost. Every detail scripted, nothing lost. This was written long before they lifted you. Every authority you were given came from above. Every system that condemned you served the purpose of love. They could not break a bone, they could not cut the thread. It is finished, it is finished. The debt is paid in full instead. No king but Caesar, let them shout it to the sky. The sign above your head was read in every tongue they tried. Every authority you were given came from above. Seamless garment held up against the dark. Soldiers unaware, they played a prophet's part. A mother standing still beneath the weight. Her grief became a witness, not too late. Blood and water from a spear flows through your side. The Passover lamb, not one bone broken inside. God in stone and linen, myrrh pressed cold. This is where the story has to hold. The dice hit stone beneath the cross. They played the game and never counted the cost. Every detail scripted, nothing lost. This was written long before they lifted you. Every authority you were given came from above. Every system that condemned you served the purpose of love. They could not break a bone, they could not cut the thread. It is finished, it is finished. The debt is paid in full instead. No king but Caesar, let them shout it to the sky. The sign above your head was read in every tongue they tried. Every authority you were given came from above. They wrapped you in the silence of the grave. They sealed the stone like that could stop what you had made. But listen, every power that has crushed you to the floor has only what the Father lets it hold and nothing more. You are not finished, you are not undone. The word he spoke from that cross was not defeated, was won. Every system that betrayed you, every coward on his seat served a God who does not lose, who does not bow, who does not retreat. It is finished. It is finished. Not the end, the completion. It is finished. Every authority you were given came from above. Every system that condemned you served the purpose of love. They could not break a bone, they could not cut the thread. It is finished, it is finished. The debt is paid in full instead. No king but Caesar, let them shout it to the sky. The sign above your head was read in every tongue they tried. Every authority you were given came from above. The tomb won't still encart in stone tonight, but what God accomplished there outlasts the fight. Lay your weight down here. The debt is done. every authority he was given served the Son. She ran before the sun broke through, sandals on the stone, breath cut in two. The seal was broken, the watch was gone. They built a fortress around a borrowed town, and the stone rolled out like an accusation. Every system they erected overhead left scanning over nothing, over absence, over folded cloth in a question unanswered. You cannot cage what spoke the world alive. You cannot bury what refuses to die. Come and see what your empire missed. Come and press your hands into the evidence. The dark could not consume it. The silence could not keep it down. The grave gave back nothing but proof. Every idol cracked, every lie came loose. He walked out breathing and he spoke our names. No power built by death will ever stand the same. The grave gave back nothing but proof. We are standing on unshakable truth. Every chain, every throne, every borrowed crown. The risen King has torn your empire down. A locked room full of frightened men. Presence moved through walls like it had always been. Not a ghost, not a vision, dressed in light. He showed them where the nails had split the night. And Thomas said, I will not bend my knee to a story I have not yet seen. So they brought the wounds, they brought the hands, and the man went quiet like he finally understands. This is not a fairy tale to sing and then forget. This is the axis of the world, the deepest anchor set. Come and see what your empire missed. Come and press your hands into the evidence. The dark could not consume it. The silence could not keep it down. The grave gave back nothing but proof. Every idol cracked, every lie came loose. He walked out breathing and he spoke our names. No power built by death will ever stand the same. The grave gave back nothing but proof. We are standing on unshakable truth. Every chain, every throne, every borrowed crown. The risen King has torn your empire down. You thought the tomb was your final argument. You thought the sealed stone was the end of the sentence. But she turned around in a garden at first light and heard her name in a voice that had no business being alive. And everything you built on his silence collapsed in a single word. He breathed on them, he sent them out, not with feeling, with authority, with the weight of the Father's mission in their lungs. You do not get to define the edges of this. The wounds are real, the tomb is empty. The wounds are real, the tomb is empty. He is not here. you